In this video, I'm going to go over the 7 things I wish I knew sooner that lead to true happiness. And the first one of the most important things is stop chasing the wrong things for happiness. We think the beautiful house or the new car or the perfect boyfriend or the right job or the new pair of shoes will make us happy, or the perfect body, the good looks, the thin, it could be a little thinner, but whatever. We think that this outside thing will bring us happiness, and it never will. Maybe for a minute, maybe for 2 minutes or a week, but look at all the celebrities. They have fame, fortune, money, attention. It's all the things we think we want, we think will make us happy, and a lot of them are not happy. Unfortunately, you see suicides and drug addictions and all kinds of things. So it's not that any of those things are wrong. I love a nice car or a beautiful house, but that's not where happiness lies. Happiness is within, and it can only be found within by being your true, authentic self and connecting to your higher self. It's the only true happiness there is. I'll tell you a story. When I had been doing spiritual retreats and courses for many, many years, and after about 15 years, I really felt this inner peace, and it was very stable no matter what life brought me. And then my mom passed away. This is a number of years ago, but I was grieving my mom, but I still felt okay. And then 2 days after my mom passed away, my boyfriend broke up with me via email. And my first thought was, wow, my core happiness is still there. Neither of these two things had shaken that happiness. Yes, I was grieving my mother, and now on top of that, I was grieving the loss of my relationship. But that core happiness was within, and it was not affected by either of those things. So do whatever it takes to become happy within. I mean, the Buddhists talk about it. All the spiritual books talk about it. Do your shadow work, your trauma work, your healing work, whatever it is that brings you peace and happiness inside. So that when life brings its nice little challenges, as it will, that core happiness is still there. The second most important lesson that I learned a number of years ago is about forgiveness. And I hesitate on this one because forgiveness is really a touchy subject. And I think people who have really bad trauma, for good reason, you bring up forgiveness and they're like, it almost feels like you're telling them it's their fault they're upset by their trauma. And that's not what this is about, nor is that what I'm saying. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. Number one, it does not let the person who did whatever it was to you off the hook. It does not make whatever happened okay. It doesn't make it okay that they did it. It doesn't make it okay that it happened to you. But you can walk around with that pain, unbelievable pain inside for whatever the thing is, betrayal, hatred, whatever was done. You can walk around with that inside of you, or you can forgive them for yourself and let it go and be at peace. I was, unfortunately, like many people, sexually molested as a child. And that was the one that was really tough to forgive. I forgave my mom for all the things she did, my, blah, 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 all the people in my life. And there's evil out there. There's bad things that happen to many people. Now, maybe not all of us, but many people. And it doesn't make it okay. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't work together to stop those kind of things from happening. It definitely is not okay. but I'm okay despite the fact that it happened. I basically prayed to be shown how to forgive it. And through that prayer, through the grace of the divine, is how I was shown. I'm going to make another video about that. I don't want to go into too much detail, but it changed from the worst thing that ever happened to me to something I consider, and I use this word lightly, carefully, but I consider it a gift because of my change in viewpoint. Not that it's okay, not that it was a great thing that happened, not that it should ever happen to one more human being, but it was through forgiveness that I was healed. Not him, not them, not the other person, but me. And the other person you need to forgive is yourself. Because there's a lot of shame often that comes in trauma. Like we blame ourselves on some level. And I'm going to get more into that in this video about forgiveness. So that's coming soon. The third thing I really wish I knew sooner, but I know now and has brought me a great deal of inner peace and happiness, is to live as best I can every moment with integrity and truth. The ego is not an enemy, but it's a funny thing, and it can be quite slippery in that, I think that's a good word. The ego loves to win. It loves to be right. It loves to feel powerful. It's our instinctual program for protecting us. And over the millennia of us being human beings, it's come up with some pretty devious ways to win and feel powerful. And some of them can be manipulative and, unconsciously harmful to others. So the more you start to recognize that, the more you see some shadows within you. And it can be painful to look at them. But when you do, and when you start to own them, there's so much more power, because all of that power, all of that inner effort, attention, and your inner power that was using your attention and will to push those things down, keep them away, don't look at them, all of that intention, power, will is now back under your control. And the more shadow work I do, the more I own my stuff, again, not with blame, but taking responsibility. The more I do that, the better I sleep at night, the better I feel, the happier I am, the more compassionate I am, because now I can connect to somebody else that might be doing the thing I know I've done because I've owned it. Whatever that thing is, being bossy, being manipulative, being a know-it-all, being I've lied in my past, whatever it is that was out of integrity, when I own it, then I can have compassion for others doing it. Doesn't mean I want to hang around with them all day. Doesn't mean they become my best friends. That's not what I'm saying. But I have a lot more compassion and a lot less judgment. So live with integrity and truth. The fourth thing that I wish I knew sooner is to live from your intuition, more from your intuition than the mind. I had this realization a couple months ago when I was having a hard time with something and I was trying to figure it out, and I was so sure that the right thing to do was, I don't even remember what the thing was that my mind wanted to do. Like my mind thought the answer was this. And I kept getting like intuitive hits, intuitive vibes that the answer was this other thing. And I'm like, that can't be right. And suddenly it dawned on me. Let's see, who knows better? All-knowing divinity, like God, or little old me with this little ego and this small mind? I think I'm gonna go with the divine. And it turned out, of course, perfect. Getting bit. So the takeaway from this is, as you get more and more in touch with your intuition, you may find that the advice you're getting or the hit you're getting or the vibe or the signs or whatever it is that you're getting might seem like they don't make sense. Like, that doesn't make sense. And the brain is coming up with a logical answer. No, XYZ, this makes sense. I want to do XYZ. I'm telling you from many trial and errors, go with the intuition. The logical choice is not always the best answer, especially if your intuition is speaking up and telling you differently. It might seem like it doesn't make sense. Like, let's say you want to go to the bakery and you know the bakery straight ahead, but your intuition is saying, no, make a right, don't go straight ahead. And you're like, what? The bakery's straight ahead. Go right. Because what I find is if I don't listen to that, I get in a little fender bender or something else happens. Whatever it is, just follow your intuition at every turn as often as possible. Your true intuition will never steer you wrong. The fifth thing I highly recommend for a happier life is giving, being in the flow of the universe. That could be, yes, it could be donating money or giving money. It could be giving your time, volunteering in some way to help others. It could be giving a smile. It could be holding a door open. It could be a million things that don't cost you anything. All I know is I am much happier when I'm in the flow of the universe, and the universe returns whatever I've given tenfold. It never ceases to amaze me. But there are times when I have not been in the mood, or I was angry about something else and I had an opportunity to give something. I'll give an example. As soon as I finish the thought, I had an opportunity to give something and I withheld it, and I regret it to this day. It was like 20 years ago. I was driving to my mother's and I was pissed off about something. I don't remember what I was pissed off about, but I was pissed off. And this little old woman, my mom lived in like a retirement, age 55 and up or whatever. And this little old woman was trying to wave me down. And I just wanted to get to my mother's, do the thing, da-da-da. I passed that little old woman who was trying to flag me down. I hate myself for that. So either now stop this video for a second, or after the video is done, take a second and feel what withholding feels like. Like if you have a moment to give love, or give a smile, or hold the door open, or give kindness to somebody, which is all that woman needed, probably, a little bit of kindness. Feel what withholding it feels like, and feel what giving it feels like. When you give, you've opened the flow of the universe to give back to you. If you withhold, your hands aren't open to receive anything. So give kindness, be kind, help others. It will lead to more happiness. Number 6, this is a big one. Appreciate rather than resist. Let me explain. When things don't go the way we planned or the way we think we want, it's a natural thing to resist. Pain comes along, an upset comes along, whatever it is, and we immediately try to push it away, not feel it, resist it. Fear was a big one for me. I didn't like feeling fear.
Me, strong girl, no fear.
So I would push that one away in a heartbeat. And as the saying goes, what you resist does persist. That's a saying for a reason, because it really does happen in the universe. So if you think about it, when you're resisting something, part of your attention, your beingness, your effort, even if it's unconscious, is attached to that thing, trying to hold it away. So if you allow it, and maybe even appreciate it for whatever it is, it flows over you and it's done. I'll give you a perfect example. I was learning to scuba dive with my boyfriend at the time, and I had done all the pool work, no problem. I'm a good swimmer, I'm not afraid of the water, love the water, no problem. So we're in the Virgin Islands, and we had a whole lesson on the beach before we were gonna go for our first in real water dive, like in the ocean. Oh, wait, I'm confusing stories. Yes, I popped out of that and I was afraid of that, but that's not the story. I passed that. I got through that and I passed that. The next day, we were going for our first dive with the crews from like the hotel and no more instructor. And the one kid was talking to us. He was mostly talking to my boyfriend, and my boyfriend wanted to do this one dive that's a little more technical and requires some, experience. And he's like, "You're not a beginner, are you?" I didn't. He wasn't a beginner. I was. I didn't answer. I had my back to them, but I heard this and I was like panicked. So that night I could not sleep. Could not sleep for the life of me. And I'm trying to be really, still in the bed so not to keep my boyfriend up. And finally at like 2 a.m., my boyfriend goes, "You're not sleeping, are you?" I'm like, "No." "Are you okay?" "Yeah, I'm good." "You're afraid, aren't you?" I'm like, "No, I'm not afraid." And he's like, "Marianne, you are so afraid." And I'm like, "You don't understand. I'm a meditator. I'm never I'm not supposed to be afraid." He goes, "You're a meditator on land. It's okay to be afraid in the water." And it was pretty funny. It made me laugh. But in that moment, I let the fear happen. I didn't resist it. I let it happen and it was gone in an instant. And I went to sleep like 5 minutes later. And we had a beautiful dive the next day. That guy didn't even lead our dive. It was somebody else. It's just a gift to appreciate people, situations as much as you can. And the way I do appreciation is I think of each thing, even difficult things like works of art, and I kind of try to find the humor and poke fun a little. So if the situation is really difficult, I might say, "Oh, look at all the colors in that piece of artwork. Yeah, there's muddy brown and ugly black and ooh, nasty mud yellow," whatever. So try to find the humor and appreciate whatever it is and allow and don't resist. And the final one, number 7. And that is to keep growing, step out of your comfort zone, and go for it. Don't be afraid of the unknown. I have a 45-second video about this, about the unknown and not being afraid of it. It seems scary. It seems risky, I know. But it's where all the fruit is and confidence building and all the other things. I personally believe that life is either growing or decaying. And I don't want to get to the end of my life saying, "Oh, I wish I had done that or this or that." I used to volunteer at a number of different hospices, and I would be with people on their deathbed at the last moments. And I can tell you that the regrets weren't, "I wish I worked more," or "I wish I, sat on the couch more." Their regrets are, "I wish I had tried this. I always wanted to go skydiving. I never did it," or whatever the thing is. Or, "I wish I had tried painting," or, "I wish I had learned French." Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be dangerous. It can be something just out of your comfort zone. Try something new. Step out of your comfort zone. Stretch yourself. It's in that stretching that we find our purpose, our meaning. And I think it's where the divine steps in and is part of that whole piece. I know even for this, doing these videos on YouTube is way out of my comfort zone, way out. And I'm finding it's helping me feel more alive than I have in a long time. I'm learning a million things. And with each step I take, it's like the divine has its wind at my back. Things keep like presenting themselves, almost falling in my lap, grace. So all I know is I'm gonna keep stretching. I am determined to get to my deathbed, and instead of saying "I wish I had," I'm planning on saying, "Man, that was a wild ride." Hope I see you there eventually. Until next time.